Hello, race fans, and welcome to Disc Golf Daily. It is Friday, April 26th, and thank you for rating the podcast and sharing it with your friends. It means a lot to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are the podcast that gets you caught up with disc golf news and growth in about 10 minutes. Today, we're going to talk about hole 12 at Northwood's Black. Let me start here. I strongly dislike hole 12 at Northwood's Black. If you want to stop the podcast here, go ahead. You've already got my opinion. Here's why. A par 5 running through the woods for over 1,000 feet is just silly. There are going to be random cases where a player has bad footing, where a player gets a touch too close to a tree, where a player gets a good or bad kick on a drive that was errant. That hole is going to be way too fluky. In my opinion, this potential flukiness is acceptable on a par 3. Here's the difference. On a par 3, if you're making a good shot, you're in circle 1 or circle 2. If you make a bad shot, then there's an opportunity for having bad footing or a bad kick or a good kick or bad tree placement or okay tree placement. On a wooded course, if you make a bad shot, there is an opportunity for luck to come into play. But on a par 3, this is only one drive. On a 1,000-foot par 5 through the woods, there are multiple chances for this luck to come into play, and it clearly does. Let's talk about a par 4. It is critical to make the landing area as defined and fair as possible. With a winding par 5 through the woods, this is nearly impossible. Every player throws so different and will be throwing from such different positions. Making appropriate landing zones that have good footing and provide fair opportunities is virtually impossible. And Northwood's 12 proves it. Why would anyone think about this? Why did I think about this? Well, it's an iconic hole. People tout its teeth, so I looked up its stats. In round 2 last year at Northwood's Black, hole 12 was birdied twice. I will say there was a really good scoring spread among the par, bogey, and double bogey stuff. I'm fine with that. However, let's look at the two people that birdied it. Ricky Wysocki carded the birdie, as did Nick Robertson. Ricky ended in 3rd. Nick ended in 128th. I can't imagine a hole being a worse predictor for tournament success. All right, everybody, if you birdie this hole, you're either going to get 3rd or 128th. You're either going to win the tournament or you're going to lose the tournament. Would you birdie that? Anyway, and yes, using one data point is silly. However, I'm confident that the correlation between players who do well on hole 12 compared to players who do well in the tournament is smaller than almost any other hole on the course. I was so confident, I did the math. Let's look at the finishing positions of the players that have birdied this hole over the last 3 years. 9 different players have birdied this hole since 2021. 2 of them finished in the top 10. Well, actually better, 3 of them finished in the top 20. You heard that right. 3 of the 9 players that birdied this hole finished in the top 20. And 3 of them finished in the bottom half. That's almost a random distribution of birdies. That is not a strong correlation to the final result of the tournament. This is not a good hole for the tournament because it is so fluky. But that's not even the reason I don't like the hole. I want disc golf to be fun to watch. A par 3 is almost always fun to watch. I know where the disc needs to go. Circle 1 or closer is a good shot. A well-designed par 4 can be fun to watch. Give me a well-defined landing area and I'll understand it. It's intuitive. But a par 5 stretching interminably through the woods? No thanks. I'll go weed the garden for 20 minutes and I'll catch you all on 13. This is the real reason I don't like hole 12 at Northwood's Black. I am a spectator, and I have no idea where their throws are going and if they're doing a good job. I want a little context while I'm watching. I want to know if the throw is good without needing to hear it from the announcers. You definitely should be letting me know how good and how bad, but I should know in general. And if it's great, I definitely want to know that while it's flying. I can't help but wonder if hole 12, and possibly the entire Northwood's Black course, is simply a reaction to our sport having an inferiority complex over our insecurity with par. I'm going to ponder that and touch on my thoughts on par next week. For now, I'm going to leave it at this. I don't think hole 12 helps weed out the best players, and I don't think it's fun to watch. I would stop calling attention to it. Northwoods has much to offer. Event organizer Nate Heinold has even more. But hole 12 isn't it. That's it for us today. If you have any thoughts, news, or opinions, shoot us an email at discgolfdaily@aol.com. Have fun, throw 'em straight, and hit the thin gap.